Alrighty. Oh, I gotta make sure that it is volume off. There we go. That should work. Uh, Welcome to my confusion. We're gonna do like an exercisey class, probably 45 minutes. And we're gonna start with lymph. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna do a little bit more worky outy stuff than usual and focus on mobility and motion. So if you are there in the TV land, know that I am here with at least one person in the Zoom room. And if you ever want to be in the Zoom room, you can join. You have to reach out to me. All right, let's start just breathing. Inhale, stretch up. Ah, and exhale, let it go. Feeling your breath in your body. Inhale, reach out and up, expand. And exhale, let it go. And inhale, open, open, open. And let's just shake this one out. Shake, 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 bounce. Turn your head from side to side. Just bringing some aliveness into your body. Inhale, lift, and exhale, shake. So the shaking is going to kind of do a balancing of upregulating and also downregulating. Upregulating in that it'll probably give you some energy, and downregulating in that it will release some tension. Yeah, so just let it go. Shake, 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 bounce around, have a little freedom in your body. Yeah, if there are parts of you where you're kind of not shaking, probably a nice big holding pattern in there. So you want to let that go as much as you can. You don't need to injure yourself from shaking, but get the bounce happening, get the whole thing going. And then let's just do these twists for uh, a few seconds. I usually wake up in the morning and do about 2 minutes of this twisting. And I feel like when I do that, which is almost every day, it just, it's been a good thing for my body. So I'm just recommending that. And it's actually the first thing I do when I get out of bed is just do the twists. Usually I just count to 100 and do them. All right, I'm going to add a little foot so that I'm getting that flexion. What is it? Plantar flexion. There's dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. That's what that is. Also known as flexing and pointing your feet. And I'm doing a weight shift. So I've got all this like spiraling mobility in my spine. I got the weight shift going on, and I've got my foot. And it's also when I come up, I can also work through that so that I'm externally rotating, but I'm also everting my foot, right? Eversion and inversion, external rotation in the hip. So when we talk about mobility, we're talking about all these different things, right? Mobilizing before stretching, right? Just get your body moving. Let's circle the shoulders. Yeah, if we start to like go for stretches when our body is cold, and if you're young, you can probably stretch and be cold. And if you're a dancer and your body's accustomed to really shifting quickly, probably okay for you too. But as we get older, we need more lubrication in the tissue before we start to ask bigger things, whether that's stretching or uh, strengthening. Let's open up into an X, internally rotate, externally rotate. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, open. Internal rotation. Getting to the lymph in a minute. So we're getting this mobility in the joints, right? Mobility is going to be a combo of joints, fascia, muscle fiber, everything moving inside. We're greasing up and hydrating the joints, getting the synovial fluid moving in there, and then we're also hydrating the fascia, right, so that it's prepared to move. Let's just do a quick vertical plane. We'll start with high left, high right, low left, low right. High left, high right, low left, low right. So working through that diagonal where I'm finding this, and then this, and then down here and here, right? So I'm getting that stretch on the contralateral diagonal, cross body diagonal, Opposite arm to leg. And I'm getting a little bit of down movement. Up, up, down, down. Last one. Up, up, down, down. So we did a lot of work through our feet with that side movement, right? If I'm pointing and pushing off, I'm using my feet, not just my leg. All right, circles with the pelvis. Think of moving your pubic bone and your tailbone to make this circle. So it's really mobilizing your sacrum, that ball and socket joint of the femur coming into your hip sockets. Change direction, other way. Also, mobilizing your ankles, feet, all the bones of your feet. And then come in and let's do the lymph. So just rubbing your hands together, general good way to start this. If we were going to do Reiki or anything that, we're going to get the energy flowing. Have a couple of deep breaths. Trying to usually inhale through your nose. Inhaling through your nose is going to be the healthiest way. It's going to moisten the breath, the air coming in. It also filters a little bit. Let's take this is my right hand going to my left. So right hand to your left, upper quadrant. Maybe move your head around a little bit, get some mobility in there. So I'm like right here, but I get a little bit over the back. I come around and in, trying to get all of that tissue to move up. So we're clearing a pathway for these lymph node roads. Like this is going to come back in, reassimilate, and then go back out. And then change it to the other side, same thing. I've got my left hand on my right. Jaw, neck, and throat relaxed, easy. Hair, tongue, relaxed. Feeling what your tissue feels like, right? My shoulders and upper back used to be really pretty hard. And then after doing some shoulder mounts on pole, I softened up some of that tissue. This is not what I recommend for other people, but we do need we need body work. We need to roll around on balls. We need get on the foam roller and spend some time softening the tissue. All right, let's go up to the angle of the jaw, right around there, getting in there with our fingers. So I'm actually going to feel right along the edge of my jawline and see, because there's a whole bunch of lymph nodes in there, if anything is blocked up. Usually when I do this check, I usually can find one. And you don't want to like jam it a ton, but you want to give it some chance to mobilize. So I just got back from Vancouver. I was on 2 completely full flights getting there and then also coming back, same thing. I was at a graduation, masked for all of this with a K95 or whatever it is, N95. Relax your neck and tongue. Multiple tests. Okay, take it into up here, K27 points. Multiple COVID tests, did not get it so far, so good. But I feel like there's a few things that I think help to avoid getting COVID, and one is the lymph flush. Keep flushing that stuff out. And if you have gotten sick, keep doing it. We want those lymph nodes to be really, the whole lymphatic system to be healthy, operational. It is the detoxifier of your body. This is where your thymus is under here. We can give that a little Tarzan. Oh, maybe some sound. If I do it with my mouth closed, could be getting some nitric oxide, not nitrous, but nitric oxide. It is a antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial. And it's also a vasodilator within your heart. It affects your endothelium. So doing the humming is a very healthy thing for us for multiple reasons. All right, coming into our arm. This is my right hand to my left. Armpit, pec. And I kind of grab it like a sandwich I don't know, my hands are the bread, and the inside, the pec, is the meat in my sandwich, or the tuna fish, or the cheese. And I'm just massaging in there, getting some mobility into that armpit where there's a whole bunch of lymph nodes and into this upper pec area. Same thing on the other side. Often when I'm teaching this and I see people do it, I see them like barely moving and barely touching. Get in there. Start to have a relationship with the tissue in your body with your hands so you know what it feels like. And you can go, oh, that feels tight, or that feels loose, or that feels hydrated, or that feels kind of crusty. Start to pay attention, right? We're not really taught to feel what our body feels like so much. So start to have a physical relationship with what it feels like. Okay, xiphoid process, belly button. We're going to do a little edge of the rib pull. So my fingers are going in like this, like a little hook. I'm pulling along the edge of my rib cage. On one side is my liver. My stomach is up here. Ideally, my stomach's not going up into my lungs, but it's able to descend. So I'm giving this tissue this extra pull each side, right? And sometimes when people have acid reflux or things are going on, sometimes that's because your esophagus and your stomach are moving up. We want that to be able to descend down. There should be movement through here. Yeah. Shake that out. Just give everything a shake. Let it go. And then we're going to come into this place in the middle, sternochyli, biggest lymph node in the body. I'm going to kind of go in. So for me, it's kind of deep inside, and if I'm here, my abs are kind of blocking my entrance. If I go like that and I soften them, I can get in a little deeper. So I'm kind of not a Martha Graham contraction where you're contracting, but a softening where your fingers can actually enter into the tissue a little bit. Right? So if I'm contracted, I'm holding a lot of tension. I'm just rounding and softening. Next place, in the inguinal fold, just above that, between your ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine, and your pubic bone. And feeling what your tissue feels like in there. And then taking it behind your knees. I like to bend and straighten my knees so you're right behind the eye of the knee, getting in there. Do your knees have eyes in the back, the eyes in the back of your knees that are looking at everything behind you? Okay, let's finish that off. A little bounce. Just in case anything didn't get released, give yourself that bounce. So movement stimulates lymphatic system. Movement, deep diaphragmatic breathing, and then all of this flushing. Also, there's all sorts of brushing. There's all sorts of things that we can also do. But this basic 6 of these points, starting here, up, and then here, down, are really great. All right, let's come into a cross-legged position on the mat, sitting on your butt. I have to say, this exercise that we're going to do right now, just the side stretching and then circling, is such a lifesaver for my own back. Using your breath, exhale side to side. Yeah, so big lateral movement, one side and then the other. And then we're going to circle the whole way around, sideways and forwards and around, opening it up. Sideways, forwards, around, and open. Breathing into it. Head and tail getting this nice mobility through the whole spine. So we're going to the side, we're hitting that diagonal, and we're coming to the front. Diagonal, side, opening up. Last one like this. Sideways, diagonal, forward, diagonal, sideways, and lift. And change so your non-dominant leg is in front. Yeah, I'm looking out at my neighbor getting into her car across the street. And it looks like she got a haircut. How exciting. Let's take it slower the other way. Just starting to the side. Breathe into it. Once you get there, let yourself move a little bit. So, rib cage, lungs, diaphragm, getting some mobility in there, right? Is it important that I get into my deepest stretch, or is it important that I move all that tissue around? Getting more three-dimensional hydration in the fascia. Take it down over your knee, and you can kind of free up the spine. A little bit of mobility. Moving in ways that feel good. Don't go into the, oh, this feels horrible. Go into this feels good. Taking it into center, and again, let yourself really drop. Maybe having some movement of the spine from side to side. Surrender. Let go. Taking it to the other knee, and then the same thing. You can also just hang out there and breathe. Although to me, it always feels better to move a little bit. I feel like, oh yeah, that's it. Just that extra little bit. And then sideways again. And you can add that down and up. Here comes the pea pod. Hi, pea pod, pea pod. So yeah, I was gone for that past week, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be home with the little buddies and just here in like the spring here is so beautiful. All right, not that the spring in Vancouver wasn't beautiful. It was beautiful. It was good to see family. It was good to be there, and it's good to be home. All right, arms out side side, legs out in front of you. Let me just drop this a little bit. Okay, you can stop scratching that. Back of the hands towards each other, halfway down. Inhale, spiral. Present the platter to all your friends. Exhale, offering up the best sandwiches, opening your heart. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open it up. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open it up. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. So the little pea pod, this one here, she's a Manx, and Manx tend to really glom onto people. Like, she is very imprinted to me. She follows me around usually and is within like viewing distance of me if I'm home most of the time. If I go into a room and I shut the door, when I come out, she's laying there waiting. Now she's trying to get out of here. So I wasn't sure how it would go for her to be here with Anthony. But apparently she did the same thing to him. So that's good news. Their relationship has developed and he loves her so much. So it's good for everyone. Let's take it down to the floor. If you have a block, grab your block. We're going to stick the block in between the knees. Feet are parallel. So try to find a space where your knees and your heels are even. When I put the block in between my knees, I am not overly squeezing my inner thighs. It's really there just as a, like, a landmark for where my body is in space, right? I'm not doing it so that I can like hyper engage my inner thighs. And press your pelvis up. Easy circles, mobilizing your spine. So we're not overly engaging any one part. The back of the body is working more as we press up. So we get hamstrings, back, and butt, but we're mobilizing the pelvis. We're mobilizing the spine. Feel what's going on with your feet. If your toes are peeling up, put your toes down on the floor. Change direction the other way. Yeah, let your feet find ground as we're circling. Oh yeah, and now I feel like weird old injuries that I haven't felt for a long time in my body. Just that one thing on the back of my left side. And roll it down. Take the block out. And let's do a happy baby really quick. Yeah, so I did work out while I was gone, but mostly like hiking and walking and stuff like that. A little bit of like my own stuff rolling around on the floor in the living room at my mom's house, but not my regular classes, which This is like the insurance policy so that I can move in any way that I want to and do the harder things that I do. Big circles with the knees. And also like not get sore when I do hard things. So this is just hydrating, moving things through your body so you're not all stuck. Change direction. Breathing. Ah. And then we're going to lower the feet down and do that slightly more intense version where we're going to, I'll show it on this side first. We're going to press up, arm draws under, you come onto your side. You can reach it out, bring it back to the floor, lift as high as you can, and come down. So it goes up, your elbow comes underneath you, come onto your side, reach, bring it back in, press it up, take it down. Oh, here's squeaky deaky. Up, elbow under, onto your side. Big stretch. Bring it back, lift, and come down. Press it up, elbow under, onto your side. Stretch it out. Bring it in. Open, and come down. Cats are funny, right? As soon as you give them like, there's a bridge, let me go under it. I must go into that empty space. Cats and the negative space. Lift and lower. Up, elbow under. You can let your head come off and really reach back here if that feels good. Lift and lower. Let's do one more slightly different. You're going to come up. I see Treble right here next to me getting ready to do his moves. Onto your side. We're going to reach it out. Just draw your elbow and knee in. Reach it out. Elbow and knee in. Reach it out. Elbow and knee in. Reach it out. Foot to the floor. Press it up and come down. And to the other side. Elbow under. Reach it out. Elbow and knee in. Reach. Bring it in. Reach. Bring it in. Reach. And bring it back. Press it up and take it down. And then let's just roll from side to side. So closing it in on one side, opening all the way through the middle, roll it onto the other side. Open and close. Open. Use your breath. Open. Close. Open. A little more active. Sometimes we go really slow and kind of just spread across. But go ahead and you can push, make it a little bit more active if that feels good. Let's come onto our backs in this open position. Circles with your feet. Let's go circles with your wrists and ankles at the same time. And change direction. Breathing. And then you're going to, let's take our hands behind our head, come up. Toes are going to come together, open it out, flex your feet, and point. Fold it in. Open, flex. Point, fold. Open, flex. So I watch a lot of these like sort of fitness movement people on Instagram, and some of them really do cool things. But the one thing that kind of always drives me crazy is that their feet are very rarely being used to complete any kind of line. They're kind of just like these globs on the end of their legs. And if they would just learn how to like use their feet, it would be awesome. That's my very snitty dancer version of it. And it's not, it's like, because they're just kind of like, it's great to be able to relax your feet also, but it's also great to be able to actually complete a line so that like when you're doing your move, we see the whole thing as opposed to just kind of this like, there's a word, I think it's a Quechuan word called lampachaki, so Peruvian language, and it's like having this big old canoe on the end of your leg. All right, internally rotate one leg at a time. Lampachaki. Lampachaki foot. It's been a joke in our dance company forever because Georgina's family is from Peru. And her ex-boyfriend was this, I mean, Georgina is like 5 feet tall. Her ex-boyfriend was like 6'4", and he just had these massive feet. So that's how I know the word lampachaki. All right, let's roll back and forth, rounding through your spine, and I'm probably just horrendously horrendously axing that. If you feel like you want to go all the way up, try it. And then there's going to be one more thing to do here. Instead of going all the way up, you're going to come slightly forward, maybe into a forward fold, take it back, rolling. And if you felt like you really wanted to go nuts with it, you could kick this up a little bit. All right. Oops. All sorts of things. My earbuds are popping out. And let's flip over. Nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Gorgeous. All right. Let's flip it over. First, I want to do a compendium of circles. The first ones are kind of for your wrists and shoulders. So let yourself really go forward over your hands as you're circling your body. This is also a little bit for your hips, change direction. So when I talk about mobility, we're mobilizing your wrists, right? We're feeling into each finger as you circle around, so feeling the weight shift. If you're a human living in the 21st century, probably a good chance that you've got some weird stuckness in your wrists. So getting that to just move a little bit. Then we're going to do the bend your elbows, straighten, press up. Elbows bend. Push like you're doing a releve in your foot. Tippy toes with your hands. Last one. You're going to stay up here and you're just going to go a little bit from side to side. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement, doesn't have to be a whole lot of weight, just a little bit so you feel. I'll show you from the front what that looks like. Feeling the weight shift. We could take that up onto fingertips. Once you get to fingertips, there's going to be a whole lot less movement in the wrist. So we're much more stable from the bottom up here. When I come down to my pads of my fingers, there's a lot more opportunity to roll across that. Then coming down again all the way, and there's movement there. Now, let's just turn our elbows in and out from there. So we're moving that. And then let me just fix my mat. And then let's go with the fingertips towards each other, elbows out. You're going to bend your elbows. Let's curl the toes under. Arch. Think of your hands kind of trying to pull away. So hands are trying to do that, but you're creating resistance on the floor. You're arching your back, and then you're going to push, scoop your belly in around your spine. Curl your toes under, arch, elbows bend slightly to the side, head is pulling forward and through, chest is open, and push, curl, and round. Toes curl under, arch, hands are trying to pull out, and push, and curl. Last one, curl your toes under, elbows out, push, and curl. And let's do those little circles here. Just small, just shifting your weight around over your hand, change the direction. So what we're doing with this kind of mobility work is we're just requiring the tissue to move in different ways as we're asking these different positions of our body. We're going to take it more for our hips. So actually, let's give our wrists a break. Coming to the back of your hands here, kind of push into them and close your hands as much as you can. Monkey fists, monkey hands. Let's turn them in towards us. If you can, turn them up. Just feeling all that, like what happens as we move our hands around, right? There we go. Shake that out. We're going to come onto our forearms, and we're going to do a little more active forearm plank, forward and backward. Head reaches forward, heels reach back. Stretching through your feet, feeling that connection through the Achilles, through the back of the body, and also front of the body is working. Then from there, we're going to take one foot under, walking to the side. The other foot is going to come up. Top hand goes up to the ceiling. It's going to go over our head. We're going to do a circle in one direction, do a circle in the other direction, and bring it back down. Top foot comes in, bottom foot comes in. One foot crosses, the other one opens, hand goes up. We do an arm circle one way, and arm circle the other way. Bring your hand back, feet back, feet back. Cross it under, open it up, arm circle, bring it in, back, back. Cross under, open, lift, arm circle one way, arm circle the other way, bring it in, cross, cross, push forward and backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. Take it down and relax. Bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side. I saw this video on YouTube of this couple. I think they're a couple. He's 60 and she's 70, and they're like working out like at Venice Beach or something. And I'm like, yes. Like there is the culture of working out where we really objectify the body a lot, but at the same time, working out, being strong, being able to do things and making that a priority in your life, so important. Let's go opposite arm to leg. My mom does her exercises that she learned from a physical therapist. They're very much like these exercises. I actually have a video on YouTube of my mom's exercises. She's doing them. Yeah, and she's actually 81. I keep saying she's 82. She's turning 82 this month. Hands next to your chest. Come up, take it back. And I will say, child's pose, quick, relax, shift from side to side. I will say that my trip to Vancouver, one of the highlights of my trip was watching my mom play softball. She plays on a softball team. You have to be over 57 to be on the team. So they asked me if I could play. I'm like, a little too young. And like it's a co-ed softball league, and you have to have like a certain number of men and women on each team. It was awesome to see her. She plays catcher and then she plays outfield. And one of the guys came up to me and said, you know, I have to tell you, your mom has had some like TV-worthy catches. So anyway, you got to do your things. And if you have parents that do them, all the better. Let's curl our toes under, take it into a, not quite a downward dog. Knees are bent, feet are wide, circling around. And then the other thing that one of the other things that I did that was really super fun and challenging was the trip up. There's a trail called Dreamweavers. I did that. I didn't do the whole trail. I did part of it with my brother. We did like a maybe 3.5-mile hike, but one that's got a lot of vertical ascent and descent and change direction. That's why you want to have these kind of circles for your ankles and movement for your body so that when you're in these very uneven positions, your body can adapt to that, come down. I mean, like when you're scrambling, like we were going on these trails that like were cut off, like with hazardous trail, go back, crazy stuff. And of course, my brother does not go back. And there were like these little, it was insane. But at the same time, it also wasn't insane. Like I never felt like I was going to die, but I was definitely like, whoa, this is hard. All right. But that was a highlight. Super fun. Let's take it into your downward dog. Regular downward dog. Lift your heels high, scoop your belly in, roll it forward into a plank. Drop your head, roll it back up to the ceiling, lower your heels. Heels high, rounding your spine, vertebra by vertebra, rolling it forward. Find the plank, drop your head, roll it up, lower your heels. We're going to take one leg up as high as it can go. Reach it up to the ceiling. Knee is going to come into your chest. Reach it up, cross it under, reach it up, knee to your outer shoulder, step it down. You're going to pick up that hand. Let's just open it up to the ceiling. Feel as if both arms and both legs are stretching away from center and your spine is long. So your head is reaching away from your tail. Get this long feeling. And I'm not in line. I'm opening it out. From here, I'm going to let my back leg step through. Woo! Stepping through. I'm going to turn that hand. I'm going to come up and come back down. Turn my hand. Step it back. Other hand comes down and foot in. Other leg up to the ceiling as high as it can go. knee into your chest, kick the ceiling, cross it under, kick the ceiling, outer shoulder, drop it down, pick up that hand. Everything radiates away from center. Arms, legs, spine long. I'm getting a nice stretch in here right now. Then, bottom leg steps through. We turn the hand. We take it into a big archy back bend. Open it up. Bring it back down. Step the leg back, hand down, hand down. Let's do that whole thing one more time each side. Leg to the ceiling, as high as it can go. This is our first side. Knee to your chest. Reach it up. Cross it under. Reach it up. Knee to shoulder. Hand goes up. Step it through. Adjust your hand if you need to. Press it into the back bend. Bring it back down. We're just going to do it one more time, so I'm not going to knock you out. Other leg. Ceiling. Knee to chest. Ceiling. Cross it under. Ceiling. Outer shoulder. Step it down. Lift your hand. Kick it through. Adjust. Yeah, that adjustment, you may or may not need it. Let's come back down. A little panting. Figure 8 the wrists. Get this going through the tissue of your forearm, into your elbow, into your rotator cuff. Let your chest and heart join in the party. Open, close. One whole connected system. Let's take the arms out. You're just going to spiral. Look towards one hand, look towards the other hand. So very dance move. We could make it bigger, getting the bend, spiraling, and come in and circle your shoulders. Again, the other way. And let's come onto hands and knees. And we've done a lot of hands and knees. Let's go elbows and knees. We'll try this from elbows and knees. You're going to lift your one leg up, take it out to the side, lower down, up to the back, in, up to the side, lower down, up to the back, in, up, side, lower, up, back, down, up, side, lower, very juicy, back in the joint, 2 more, up, side, lower, up, back, down, up, side, lower, up, back, down. Take your butt back, shift your butt to the one side of your heel, drop your head down the other way, surrender, breathe. Just a quick counter stretch on the other side. And then come back in for the other side of your body. Leg goes out, up to the side. I am going to push into that hand as I come to the side because it feels better. I can get my leg higher. And lower, up to the back and in. Up to the side. Lower, up to the back and in. Up, side, lower, up. Hello, butt. In, up, side, lower. Much harder on the second side because the standing leg is doing a lot of work when you do the first one. I don't know. It's harder for me. 2 more, maybe 3 more. Reach it long. I'm super not counting. I think that's enough. We're going to finish it off there. I think we probably did 7 instead of 8 on that side. Just shake it out. We're going to release our hips. Let's do these circles first. So knees back a little bit. Now the circle is for your hips and your spine. Really getting into the side. So we're trying to build the integrity of the tissue and the bones as we do these circles so that your femur head, your greater trochanter, your lesser trochanter have some capacity to move, and the tissue has an integrated way of supporting the bones. So that's what we're trying to do with these circles. Then let's take one knee forward and the other knee goes back. We're going to go into a pigeon. If you want to put something under your butt, this butt, you can put a block there or a pillow or anything else. I'm actually going to start by lifting up, reaching out through my back foot, lifting my chest, opening up, and then I'm going to surrender down. Melting into it. Breathing. From here, I'm going to take my opposite arm, cross it under, same side, reaches around. I'm going to reach for my big toe, grab it, breathing. You don't need to do this version, whatever works for you. And then I'm going to bend my back leg and draw that in and get a little quad stretch there. Releasing that, coming back, unscrambling. I'm going to lift up one more time. And now I can go a little higher. And then I'm going to do the switch this way, circling one leg around and taking this leg back. Opening, opening, opening. Breathing. So a friend of mine asked me the other day, and they have a business. It's like a businessman who has a young businessman. He asked me if I thought he should do a yoga teacher training. And I was like, yes, of course you should. You should do any kind of training that's going to get more you moving more and other people moving more. People need movement. Take it down. Yeah. And he's like, but so many people are such good teachers. I'm like, yeah, and there's so many students that need any kind of teacher. Like at different levels, we need different kinds of teachers. And if you know anything, you're going to know more than a lot of people. And there will always be people who are better and who know more. Although I have to say, sometimes when people are new to something, they come with it with such a fresh brain that it's refreshing to sometimes take a class from somebody who's new to it. Plus, what's coming up in the teaching, like systems are growing. So somebody might learn a bunch of new material that a teacher who's been in the system much longer doesn't actually know. So yeah, I feel like it's important that we're continually refreshing the spring of movement and movement possibilities. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing any kind of teacher training in movement, do it. Hell yeah. What a great job. And then grab on, draw it in, and then release. Unscramble, come back up one more time. And bring it around. And let's go side to side on this, just spiraling. So again, we're going to mobilize, massaging out the tissue in our butt. And we're going to then cross and come as if you're going to get up. So I could do this just a little bit, or I can go all the way. I can push myself off. I can also go all the way up and come back down, right? All the way up. It's just an option if you want to do it. You can also just go to here. You can also go to there, shifting out and in, shifting out and in. Yeah, working to mobilize your body. You can come here, leave one hand on the ground. There's so many ways to do this, right? Listen into your body. Try different things. What else is possible? Right now, this version where I'm opening my chest and connecting my arms, feels the best. Last one. Let's see. Oh, we are pretty much coming to the end of this. So I'm gonna end it. I feel like let's just do a hip stretch and then breathing. And let's do this hip stretch. Let's do this one, knee over knee. If you can fold the bottom leg under, great. If not, you can leave it straight. You can also just lay down on your back and do this. But from here, I'm going to sit into my butt and then circles. I think I'm having a Justin Bieber haircut right now. As my hair grows out, I feel like I've got this kind of weird Justin Bieber thing going on. I hope not, but maybe it's true. Change direction. Softening and melting. And then take it forward and down and let go. Breathe into it. And then come up, spiral towards your top leg, twisting, getting tall. And then towards your bottom leg. And come in and unscramble and just bang it out. Let it go. Rotate in and out. Switch it to the other side. Sitting into it, easy circles. Again, we're just increasing the integrity of that hip socket by moving, right? So when we're moving around like this, like something's pulling, something's pushing, something's doing something. So what that requires is that the tissue becomes very alive, it becomes hydrated, it's getting this dynamic activity, right? That's what keeps us healthy. That's why we need to move a lot all the time. Change direction. So even if, like, say you're in an office job and you're like sitting at a desk for hours on end, just circle your pelvis a few times once an hour. Go a few directions. It's better to move more often, just a little bit, than to barely move and then do something super intense. Take it down, soften, melt. At the same time, if you're young and you can sit all day and then go do a HIIT class, that's great. Do it, or dance, or go to pole or whatever. And come up. But as we get older, we just have to be more intelligent. Like, have I done enough things to warm up today my body so that I can do the things I want to do? Spiral. And then the other way, which is one reason, like, I do start my morning with those twists. That's also going to stimulate lymph. There's a bunch of lymphatics that are inside of your torso. And when we spiral, we're getting them to squish, right? Getting them to do their job. And come back in and unscramble. I don't think I did the side stretches. Bang it out, rotate in and out. Let's come to stand on our feet. Let your head hang down. You can shake your head no, nod yes. Bend and straighten your knees. Go as deep as you want. If you can get all the way down there into a squat, go for it. Ha. Training your squat. And actually, I gotta say, my mom can squat. She's really cute. She's like, yeah, sometimes I like to do things down here in a squat. I'm like, you win, Mom. And she can do it, the full thing. But she lived in India for a long time, right? That's a very common position for people to hang out in. All right, let's roll it up, coming all the way up to the top. And inhale. Open it up. And let's exhale, just soft, easy fingers, soft, gentle, soft landing. So just bringing in this deep breath in, and then as your arms come down, a feeling of lightness, right? So whatever tension or stress is in your life right now, sometimes if we can approach it with just some lightness, which might be joking about things or making fun of yourself or whatever, just finding some lightness in your body. If you want to be enlightened, lighten up. Lightness, easy, maybe a little free flow. Just letting yourself have a different experience of being in your body. So it's not always just like, I'm like this, but I could be like this. I could be like that. I could be like that. I could be like that. Anything. Give yourself more access to possibility in your expression of you. You can let some of that weirdness seep out. All right, that is it. TV Land people, please like and subscribe and consider donating to the cause of funding this this work, because it's what I do. It's my work. So that's it.